Today, in this video, I will showcase some enhancements that we have made to our existing Logstash JDBC custom pipeline for collecting database audit logs. Here is a quick recap of the managed Logstash service. Managed Logstash service is a Logstash log collection method within the NetWitness log collector that helps the administrators to configure the Logstash pipelines to collect logs from various event sources using plugins supported by Elastic. These collected logs are then automatically pushed to NetWitness log decoders for parsing and deriving meaningful metadata for analysts to process further. Let's look into how customers can deploy the Logstash contents. Initially, they have to navigate to the live services page in the NetWitness platform. Then they have to enter the keyword JDBC_custom in the search section. Later, they can deploy the Logstash content to the required log decoders. They can also deploy the log device content, basically parsers, based on the event source configured. They can deploy Oracle, IBM DB2, or MySQL. If the configured event source are different from those listed, customers must obtain their own parser and place it in the required location. Few of the advantages of using JDBC custom pipelines are: the custom Logstash JDBC pipeline allows the administrators to configure and collect audit logs from any data type or database vendor. It simplifies the configuration of Logstash JDBC pipeline for collecting any database audit logs and forwarding them to any desired NetWitness log decoder for further parsing and analysis. It also provides the flexibility to add custom SQL statement instead of out-of-the-box query statement. It also allows for adding a tracking column name according to the custom query. Let's look into the configuration details. As mentioned, admin can deploy the content from the live services page. Then, under the collection category, they have to start the Logstash service. Under event sources, select Logstash from the dropdown and select JDBC_custom pipeline. Here are the different fields used to configure the JDBC custom pipeline to achieve the connection with the database for audit data transmission. I have already configured pipelines for two different types of vendors, Oracle 12c and IBM DB2. Here are two different pipelines. Let's go over the IBM DB2 configuration details. Name field is generally take the name of the pipeline. The second checkbox is to enable or disable the Logstash JDBC custom pipeline. Description field is to take the description of the JDBC custom pipeline. JDBC driver library. This will take the path to the JDBC driver jar file. Customer need to place the open source driver jar file anywhere on the log collector machine and provide its complete path in this field. They can also use their own custom jar files. JDBC driver class. So this is the class of the JDBC driver to achieve the connection. Host ID. This is the IP address of the machine where the event source is configured. Port number. Port number is the port number of the database through which we collect the audit logs. For IBM DB2, the default port number is 50,000. Database type. Customers can enter DB2, Oracle, SQL Server, or custom. If custom is selected or typed, the complete connection string details must be mentioned in the advanced section. For other types, the respective connection string will be used from the backend. Database name, the name of the database where the event source is configured. User ID, this is the user ID or the username of the database. Password, this is the password of the database user. Polling interval, generally this will take the values in minutes. It will ranges from 1 to 60. It will poll or fetch the data at each interval. For example, if the polling interval is 2, Logstash will fetch new data every 2 minutes. SQL statement. This field allows the user to enter a custom SQL query. Based on the query fields, customers can modify the query and enter it here. The SQL last value in the query stores the tracking column value for bookmarking. Device type. This maps the event data with the parser. Here it is IBM DB2. So the incoming data will be parsed using IBM DB2 parser and it will generate the corresponding metadata. Message ID. This field is to bypass the header parsing. Event destination. This is basically the host name of the event destination. In the advanced section, we have introduced a couple of new fields. The first field is tracking ID. This will take the column name to track the incoming events. This should be a unique value. Tracking ID type. This can be either timestamp or numeric based on the tracking ID selected in the previous section. Custom connection string. This is to provide the connection string properties if the database type is selected as custom in the basic section. Additional JDBC connection properties. If any other fields as part of the connection string can be entered here. Additional connection config to mention any other Logstash configuration like filter or output sections. The remaining field stays the same. The pipeline worker, that is the last field, allocate the number of CPU cores to Logstash. If left at 0, it will consume all the available cores on the machine. Once the test configuration passes successfully, the data can be seen on the investigation page. So here we can see the collected logs. This is a brief overview and functionality of JDBC Custom Logstash Pipeline. Kindly refer to the configuration documentation for more information and also some of these listed links. Thank you.